Hi, it's Kelsey from Junk Journal Magic. I need to find some more vintage paper to make a few things for a project. So I'm sitting here thinking I need to gut books and harvest things that I normally take from them. So I thought I'd show you what I do. I have a couple ready to quickly show you what I would do in that situation. But first I'm going to show you how to remove the cover. Now, these are old books, and because they're old, they're a lot more delicate and even brittle than newer books. And I'm lucky because this book has a lot of space up here where the pages attach, and I can cut it apart more easily. This is the cover page. I really like it. I'm going to try to leave it in here to finish off the cover the way I like to. Let me see if the other end is better. They're somewhat attached. This one looks better. Let me see if I can keep that one in the book. So basically what I do is try to keep the very first page. Usually it's the cover page that is on the book, and it helps them attach the pages to the rest of the book. I'm not sure what all that's called right now. It's been a while since I've tried to explain that to someone. So I am going to try to take this apart right here, and you can see where the book has a big gap in there. I'm going to use my scissors, and I think I remember why I like these scissors. They're safety scissors. Well, when you get your scissors down in here, everyone will use like an X-Acto knife or something else to cut these apart, and I've sliced too many book covers open by accident doing that. So I started using these scissors that are blunt on the end. Can you see that? Yeah, I can see it now. So they're blunt on the end, and I put them up inside this crack. This, God help us if there's anything good in there. But I just kind of carefully slice along, and it's usually right along where the fabric is up in there. And once you get to a point, I just turn it around, and it makes it easier to come in from this direction. But this way, I'm not cutting in, accidentally poking into or cutting the cover, and it's still got the integrity it had when I began, because this is an old book, and it's messy. Ugh. And then, because I successfully left this page over here on this cover where it's attached, it'll be very easy to place it when I'm ready to cover this section over here. So now I just go in. I can come right up through here. I mean, I used to kill myself trying to use X-Acto knives and everything else, and then one day I tried scissors and I was like, oh, it's so simple. So that's the best way to go. There. Now the book has been gutted. Doesn't that sound awful? I gutted the book. It's like I'm a butcher now. Let me see if I can get all this off here. Because that's very messy. And when my cats come in here, they will be like all over it like catnip. So I have a cover. I have a page still attached that will cover this nicely. And I'm probably going to put a piece of cardstock of that kind of cardboard on the back of a notepad or a scrapbook pad. I'll probably put a piece in here that fits and just cover it right up. I'll probably tear, once I get this glued down, I'll probably tear part of this off and then glue that last edge. And then I'll still have another piece here to play with later, because I love these old prints. They're just incredible. So that's how you get a book cover and how you can fill this gap right here. Then you take this part and you start pulling out. Oh, this woman's name is right here. Look at the beautiful handwriting. Makes me feel like a slob. So, okay, I start taking all the pages I want to have separate from the stuff I don't know if I'm going to use. Like these, they're blank on the back. They're aged. You can do lots of things with them. I just set them aside one by one. I go through. Now, you don't have to do this with every page to the extreme I am. You can do this much quicker if you're further in the book. But I carefully look. Now these pages I like for backgrounds and texture. I'll show you what I mean in a second. I just want to show you how I go through a book very quickly. Let me see. Oh, there's a page. So that page is good too. I look for space because this is paper, vintage paper I can use for stamping. I can stamp something on the text too, but I like this space up here. And this little bit of words here and there, they don't matter. They actually make it look more interesting. You can also take them and fold them in half and have space for something at the bottom of the page with a tuck or a pocket. And people can write down here if they want. They can put a picture right here and write about it, and then have that attached to a page. It would, of course, be a page that's the correct size for this pocket. But you can do the same thing with this rectangular shape. So I keep those. And then I want both of these, just in case. Sometimes, oops, I tore it. Sometimes these, the titles for the chapters have really cool words you can harvest too. So I'm always looking for the titles that have really good information in them, so I can clip off those nouns and adjectives. Okay, here's some more. I'll pull that if I can. This really doesn't take long, which is why if I show you how to do it the way I do it, you'll see that, oh, it's really not that difficult. Here's another one. Ah, look, here's almost a full page and a picture. If you do not like the illustrations, you can use the back of the page. It's blank. It looks like a perfect aged piece that you can use for anything. You can make a writing spot in a journal. Okay, ooh, Out in the Storm. Now that's a nice little title there. That would be fun to put under something. The Cathedral. I have a, I'll call it a castle journal with a lot of dragon stuff in it. And any kind of old architectural maps, charts like layouts of churches and things. And the cathedral's cool. I can use that word for something. Those are the kinds of little books I have up on a shelf, and every now and then I'll get them out and I'll glue a bunch of things I found for that particular junk journal. So it's not something I do a lot. It's just whenever I finally get a pile of things, I'll go in and add them to the book. And oftentimes I find out that I haven't done 2 or 3 specific things that I need to find a way to add pictures that works. Now, I say pictures, it could be like quotes, it could be poems. I think I'm going to flip to the back. You can see how I do this. I'm going to flip to the back and show you what I do at the back. There's some blank pages oftentimes, not always, but you can take the blank pages. If there are any index, oh, I tore it. That's a good spot to put that homemade old tape. Right there. So don't be upset if you tear it. The index pages or the glossary or whatever, it's kind of got a pattern to it. And I'll take those and pull them out with these pages, just like the table of contents pages, and use those for backgrounds too. Let me get this off here and then I will show you what I mean by that. Let's see. It's just growing. Okay. This is what I'm doing. I'm using my music paper book. This is music sheets where I've gone in and glue sticked old images out of a encyclopedia on sports. So I get a lot of males, tons with young people. I love those. They're the best things I think yet. But I'm just going to show you if you do this, you're all ready to go. And you just tear out your picture or photo that you want to use. And don't throw these pieces away because there's really cool text down here. and some more music stuff. You can use that in collage. So we've got one of these guys. I'm going to get rid of this. We've got all our pages. Let me show you quickly what I mean. Where was that? Down in here. This is just a collage page, a table of contents page. And it's really cool if you put the photo wherever. And it's really nice when you get one of these table of contents pages from like a little golden book or something along that lines of vintage children's book, or a reader from different grades in public school. But you get these interesting numbers. You can turn it the other way, which I think I like better. Yeah, because the writing then parallels the music paper. And then this down here almost looks like some sort of pattern, like a lace, even though it's not lace. This is just paper. Where was that page I folded? Where did it go? Where did it go? Okay, here's one. Say we're going to fold this, and we could make a pocket, just sew around the edges. I always sew. Or we can glue it shut so it's stuck, and then I can trim the edges like a tag and glue the photo on there on either side. It's very simple. You can do it either way. It just gives you more pattern back there that's different from the music paper. And if you want to sew around this photo on the music paper, do that before you glue it down, and then you won't have stitching in that area on the other side, especially if it's blank. If you have something like this and you have a blank back, whoever has the journal can write on the back and have this cool picture on the front, and you can turn it into a tag. I like that too. That's what I do with a lot of this stuff, but I really like to take these small areas. You can sew all around that area, cut this off, and have this section that's a tag. You put different things on it, but I always try to make sure the back is just a writing space. So maybe this side will be where you add whatever to the front of a small tag, and that back area, say from here over, gets cut off. This area will be blank enough where people can write. So that's what I do with that stuff. I also wanted to show you, you can get these things, say when you're pulling out all these pages, you get this block when you got it, like this. You get this block. Well, this area, a lot of people like to save this, which is the area that had the glue and attached to the pages where they folded into the spine. You can save this thing. I see people use them all the time. I rarely save them, but today I thought, maybe I'll save it this time. So there's that. And all the pages, the extra pages that had useful areas on them for me. Even little images like this are awesome. I usually take those out. This book did not have images, and it had such few pages I wanted to save that I wasn't going to do that on camera. I did manage to save one of the pages back here. Where is it at? Oh no, did I just pull it off? Nope. That I can just fold over. And once you get this glued down, you can leave this area here glued right here and here and have a pocket. But if you do that, I would fold this either under or outward and make sure you have a really tough edge there so you can slide whatever in and out. But that's fun. I really like to do that often. I have a whole tub of these book covers I've done this to, and I need to get busy with and use them up, make books. This one, I was going to go through this one. There were lots of pages, table of content pages, and index pages in the back. I saved all that, but I didn't pull things out of here because I'm going to have to go through and cut out all the images I want. There's writing in here. This is about the history of South Carolina, so there's signatures, there's documents, there's that tombstone. I don't know if I'll use the tombstone. It's not spooky like what we're going into Halloween. And I would use a tombstone during that particular period, making something interesting, but that was just boring. A headstone. Here are some old famous people. Their pictures are paintings of their pictures. I like the signature just for fun. You could tear that out and all this extra stuff, just leave it behind. But yeah, that's what I do. I would, oh, this would be really good. There's a star fort. That might be fun to put in my castle junk journal with all that stuff I'm saving, just because why not? This is interesting. That's a Huguenot church. That's very, very frilly stonework there. And like I said, there's documents. So I'm not going to tear this apart right now. I'm probably going to go back and do that after I harvest all the images, because there are some partial pages and full pages throughout this. I just saw a bunch of photos. Let me show you that page. That's really cool. Oh, well, there's two that you could actually separate from here, but that's fun. Look at these old guys. We're always looking for antique photos. They're probably daguerreotypes. Anyway, so if you have been wanting to do something with all these pages and you watch all those videos that show you how to make all these folded things, there's one that's like this is folded in the center and attaches to the book on each side, you know, pockets and stuff. Well, here you can think about these spaces, these blank spaces, as tools for something else. Bye.